Hello and welcome to Johnny English today. Now, there are no subjects that are more spoken about, I imagine, than the subject of love. It's the subject of songs, it's the subject of literature, and it's obviously the subject of conversation. It's part of our everyday lives. Humans are made to love and be loved. So I thought it'd be interesting just to teach you a few expressions that we use in connection with people whom we love, people who we have a romantic relationship with, or that we would like a romantic relationship with. And expressions that are very often used in connection with these things. And where do those expressions come from? So the first one I'd like to just mention is when you see somebody, or maybe you're lucky enough, some of us are, to be in a relationship with someone who we think is so amazing, is so beautiful, or so incredibly intelligent, or whatever it might be. And we want to express that we feel that they're probably too good for us. And we would use the expression, they are out of our league. So maybe we don't get involved with somebody because we believe they are out of our league. Or maybe we express that to somebody else. Don't bother with that person, they're out of your league. Or maybe it's at the end of a relationship and we say, well, I was out of their league anyway. If we want to express that we feel that we were too good for them, or whatever it might be. But to be out of someone's league, it's from sport basically, because in every sport you have categories, leagues where people are put according to their abilities, according to their qualities, and they stay in that particular league. So if somebody is out of your league, it refers to them being higher than you, to being of better quality than you. So you can express it like that. They're out of my league. I feel very lucky because really they're out of my league. So that's our first expression. A second expression that we can use is similar to the first one, and this comes from the world of boxing. Now, if you are in a relationship, as I've said, some of us are very lucky to be in a relationship with people who we believe are just amazing. So we can use the expression, I am punching above my weight. Or we might say it about somebody else. Well, when I saw them together, I clearly believed that he was punching above his weight. Now this comes, as I said, from boxing, and in boxing you're putting categories according to weight. And it's assumed that the heavier you are, the bigger you are, the stronger you are, the better you are at boxing. So if somebody is said to be punching above their weight, it means that they're able to compete with somebody heavier, bigger, stronger than they are, or at least that's how it appears. So if you believe you are punching above your weight, it would mean that you believe the person you are with is better than you, is much more beautiful than you, and you're happy about that very often. So that's our second expression. So we have being out of someone's league and punching above your weight. Now the third one is really quite a nice one. It is an very old expression, and it is when we think that, or we want somebody to think that, or to know, maybe not just think, to want somebody to know that we believe that they are far better than anybody else we've been in a relationship with. We can say, nobody else I've had a relationship with, or nobody else that I've been involved with, could hold a candle to you. Now this is what it sounds like. It's a literal expression, to hold a candle to someone, and it comes from in the past when apprentices were learning their job, and they would qualify because they became quite good, or they were maybe a little bit more advanced than new learners. They would hold a literal candle for the master to do their job. They were kind of promoted to that position. They weren't good enough to do the job, but they could hold a candle for the master. The master trusted them. Now, of course, if there was somebody that just was no good at anything, really wasn't qualified, the master couldn't trust them, you would say they couldn't hold a candle to the master. They weren't allowed to. They're way too inferior in terms of their abilities on this job to hold the candle for the master. So it's come to mean that if somebody is inferior to you or to the person you're with, you could say, you know what, they can't, there's nobody that can hold a candle to you. And it's a really nice compliment to show that there's nobody qualified to hold a candle for this person, because they are so good, they are so beautiful, they're so handsome, they're so incredibly good to be with. Nobody can hold a candle to them. So it's a little bit of a romantic theme today, but those three expressions: to be out of one's league, somebody being out of your league, to be punching above your weight, and nobody can hold a candle to the person that you are with. So hopefully that's been useful. Hopefully you found it quite interesting. As I've said, some of us are lucky enough to be in those sorts of relationships. I hope it's the case for you. Please tune in next week for another video.